Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Amanda and I usually post lifestyle content, but today I'm going to be doing a video, as you can tell from the title, about my eating disorder recovery. So the reason that I'm making this video is because I generally do not see a lot of recovery videos on YouTube. So before I say anything else, if you think you're gonna get triggered by this, please click off. So usually when I'm making videos, I have an outline of what I want to say, or at least like some idea, but today I'm going into this blindly because I don't even know how to outline this video. So I am just gonna get right into it. If you are new to my channel, then you probably won't know this, but I did have an eating disorder. I don't even know how long ago. My eating disorder was not, I don't want to say it wasn't as bad, but it really wasn't as bad because it was caught very early on. I got diagnosed with OSFED, OSFED. It stands for Otherwise Specified Feeding and Eating Disorder, and it's basically, it's like bulimia but without the binging. That's kind of the best way to describe it in simple terms, but it really can be a combination of different eating disorders and different disordered eating habits. Anything that doesn't really fit the other eating disorders, but it's bad enough to be diagnosed, kind of gets thrown into OSFED. So I'm going to talk about the main things that helped me get through eating disorder recovery, and this can be different for everyone, but this is just what helped me personally with having OSFED. So the first thing was seeing a nutritionist. So I had to see a nutritionist once a week, and then we slowly moved to once every other week, once every 2 weeks, etc. until I finally stopped seeing her. She really helped me understand the nutrition behind the foods, especially the foods that I was scared of. So she broke down every food and answered all my food questions. So it was really helpful to have her when I was trying to work through my fear foods and have them introduced into my diet. And to stay accountable, she would have me download this app. I think it's called Recovery Road or something like that. But basically she had access to it, and I would log all of my meals and snacks, basically everything I ate in the day and what time I ate them, whether I purged, binged, and did any other disordered eating habits. And basically she could write little notes on there and tell me what I was doing wrong, if I wasn't getting enough of a certain food, if I was avoiding my fear foods. Yeah, that was pretty much the main thing. The second thing that helped me was going to therapy, specifically with a therapist that specialized in eating disorders, which was kind of hard to find. I had to drive 30 minutes from my school every week to go see her. Basically, she just kind of helped me work through the origins of my eating disorders and get away from like the eating disorder thoughts. It's really specific to each individual, but that also really helped me. And then the third thing that I did was I went to an eating disorder / body image group. It was hosted by the same therapist, and every week a bunch of people would meet, or like a small group of us would meet, and we would just work through some like body image activities. You would do things like, we had a mindful eating exercise, we went to see a personal trainer. We just did little things like that, and it really helped to see other people being open about their experiences, and then I was able to be open about my experiences and stuff like that. The fourth thing that helped me in my eating disorder recovery was both identifying and trying to stop the eating disorder voice. If you have ever had an eating disorder, then you probably know what I'm talking about, but it's basically the voice that's telling you to do the eating disorder habits. And it is very aggressive, and you think it's your own voice, but it's actually not. Once I was able to identify that voice, then I was able to challenge it. So basically whenever it told me to restrict, I would not restrict. Like I would eat when I was hungry. Once you know that that voice is there, it's a lot easier to challenge it, even though it's still kind of hard. But it's easier once you know it's there. And then the fifth thing that helped me was veganism, which is interesting because it was linked to my eating disorder. So my eating disorder kind of started because I was vegetarian and I wanted to go vegan for ethical reasons, but dairy was in so many products, and instead of like slowly cutting back, I decided to do it all at once because I was feeling super guilty about eating dairy. So I started restricting it, and then I would cave in and have dairy products and feel so bad that I would purge them. And that is basically how my eating disorder habits began. So I was forced to go vegetarian during recovery. Thank God they let me stay vegetarian. because like I was vegetarian for years before I even developed an eating disorder. But anyway, after I was done with my nutritionist, I decided I wanted to go back to being vegan, because after my nutritionist said that she felt like I was kind of recovered enough to stop seeing her, I felt like it was okay for me to kind of slowly ease into veganism. So I slowly started cutting out dairy products. And I use veganism as a tool to kind of view food in a positive light instead of seeing it as something negative that makes you gain or lose weight. I saw it as something that nourished my body. Plants are incredibly powerful. They can literally heal us. And so I just ate whatever vegan, even like the most processed vegan foods. I didn't even feel bad eating them, because I just saw food in such a better light after I became vegan, and I realized the incredible potential that plants have for people. If you've watched Game Changers, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like, plants can make you a better athlete, they can improve your energy, do all these amazing things, so why would I want to restrict that? The sixth thing that helped me get through recovery was intuitive eating. And intuitive eating is basically eating when you want to eat and eating how much you want to eat based on what your body wants. So instead of eating or waiting to eat until it's lunchtime or dinner time, you just eat when you're hungry. Obviously you can't do it all the time, because if you have like a meeting or something, you want to eat a little something beforehand so you don't starve through the meeting. But you just basically try your best to follow your body signals, stop eating when you're full, and eat like exactly what you want. So I kind of did this veganized. The last thing that really helped me in eating disorder recovery was remembering all of the bad physical aspects that happened to my body when I was doing disordered habits. So basically, I just remember being in class and not being able to concentrate because I was just thinking totally about food. I could not focus on anything. My memory was like worse somehow, and I was just miserable. I could not study. I could not do anything but think about food and try not to eat. So whenever I wanted to restrict again, I would remember my memory and brain function being impaired, and it would make me not want to do that, because I want to do well in school. I want to actually learn something, and I don't even remember part of the semester where I was doing disordered eating. So I do not want that to happen again. Those are all the biggest things that helped me recover from an eating disorder. If you are just starting recovery, just know that recovery is not linear. You can go back and forth between the different stages of recovery, and it's not going to be easy, but it will definitely be worth it. I'd recommend seeing a professional if you have the funds for it, and really getting it treated, because eating disorders can be very hard to treat alone. I think one of the key steps to recovery is actually wanting to recover. So if you want to recover, you can totally do this. I believe in you. I'm sending you so much love and support, and I really hope you get the help that you need. So anyway, that is all that I wanted to say for this video. I don't have anything else. I hope you found something useful out of this or learned something, and I guess I'll see you next time. Peace out.